Hello and welcome to week one of CNET60. Let me share my screen real quick and we'll talk about this week. All right. So last week was a little bit of an anomaly in that really is like a week zero. So the course is really going to start this week. And everybody went through and did the syllabus quiz and did the introduce yourself. So thanks for participating in that. But this week we're going to get started with test out and the lab sim material. And you'll notice uh, this week I have a video that tells you how to get started on the labs. So I would encourage you to watch that. Here's the week one learning objectives. And then every week, so from week one until the end of week 6, there's going to be a discussion prompt. And many of you, I think 10 people have already done this, but you want to respond to these questions in this prompt here. So just click reply and then respond to that. And then you need to do that before 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday of each week. And then once you've done your reply, go in and read somebody else's, at least two of them, right? You need to respond to two peers and just respond to their things. Like, for example, here's Albert Coral. He said, sharing recollection. I have a lot of experience using computers in schools, use the Raspberry Pi, Ryzen 5. So just some basic things there. And then you can respond to their post, like, for example, you might say, hey, Anthony, at my house, I've had all kinds of computer problems. Your experiences, I really envy that. Or, just to engage your classmates. That's what that's all about. And your two responses are due by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And if you were to look at the rubric for the discussions, if you meet the deadlines and you have more than just a one sentence or one blurb response, you're going to get all the points for this. So this isn't meant to be a writing assignment or a real deep philosophical discussion on anything. It's just to keep you engaged, get you to know your classmates, spend some time with them that way. All right. So that's due the first. Your response is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. And then two responses to two of your peers is due after that. All right. Then here's the test out information that we posted here. And again, this tells you how to get to test out. And you can read that. You can also just click on any of these links. So on the modules, you'll notice there's a homework one. This is 25 questions that you have to answer before Sunday night at midnight. Okay. And many of you have already taken this, right? I think I've seen 6 or 7 people that have already done it. So for those of you that have kind of jumped the gun and got a good start, you're off to a good start. For everybody else, this is due by Sunday night. But let's just look at use the simulator. So if you click on this, it should open here. And then if you see this, we had trouble comparing that or preparing that. What I found is if you come into your settings on your browser, privacy and security, and then change this cross-site statistics to cookies from cross-site tracking. And then if you come back in here and reload that, I found that's at least on Chrome anyway, and Firefox did it as well. This is the Firefox browser on Linux. But you can come in here and you'll get into test out. All right. Now on test out, now I can see things that obviously you can't, but if I look at the class here, it's going to show that many people have already connected to test out, and a lot of you already paid for it. Now you have until, I think it's July 4th. So it's a 2-week trial. So you have you had, from Thursday of last week and then all of this week until Tuesday of the following week. And you can go in and get in there. Now, with our class, let me go back here. And if you come back to this simulator, what you want to do is watch this video. And this will be like the easiest 2 points you'll get in this class. And it just will talk you through the simulator here. So if
In
you
this
turn,
demonstration, I'm going to show you the components of the lab simulator so that you can successfully complete the activities in this course. Some labs start out with an overview of the office. We'll talk about that a bit more later. But first, let's click on hardware here in Office 2. The lab has 4 main areas.
all right, so go ahead and watch that. And then if you finish that, you can, there'll be a place where it say submit for grading, and you click that, and then it will go into, and it will automatically sync with our grade book. So let's look at that lab 1-4. So here's the grade book and lab 1-4. So you see if you have a 2 by your name, that means you already watched that video and submitted it. All right. So that will automatically sync with our grade book. If it doesn't, sometimes students will say, hey, Professor Miller, I took lab 3-7, but it doesn't show up in the grade book. It runs a synchronization between Canvas and the test out site, I think once every 24 hours. So don't worry about that. If you're missing a grade in there for a little bit of time, eventually it will end up back on there. All right. And then you'll just go through, and each week, these assignments are due at the end of that week. Now, when you're in test out, I want to show you something. So let's just go to lab 1-5. And if you come in here and then click on, where do you get to that? So yeah, it's a little bit different this time around, but you can get in here. So like say you go to lab 1-6, set up a computer. Well, lab 1-6 may not be assigned in ours. Like, so here we have one set up, we're doing 1-6 and 1-9, but if you go to 1-7, there is no lab for lab 1-7. But if you do it on here, I mean, it's still available to you on test out. It's just not graded. So only the ones that show up in the modules, or if you click on the assignments tab, the ones that are in the assignments, those are the only ones that are actually graded. There's a lot more material on test out than what you'll see from Canvas. Okay, so keep that in mind as you keep going there. All right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover getting started on this first week. If you ever have questions, the best way to get a hold of me is with the inbox in Canvas. Just fire off an email and I'll get that and I'll respond to you as quick as I can, which normally is like within a half an hour, 45 minutes from the time you send it. All right. And if we need to meet, if you need some help. Now, I also, you probably noticed that on some of these modules, let me go back here to modules. I have some videos that I've made for that discuss certain things. So like if you go to lab week 2, there's a video I made where I show you how to do lab 3.3.7. So what I'll do is if someone emails me and says, hey, Professor Miller, I'm really having a hard time with, choose and install a motherboard or the 14-4, 14, install a power supply. How do I do that? just see if I have a video for it. And you can see how I did it. And most students, after 1 or 2 times working with test out, you get pretty familiar with it. You'll get pretty good at it, and you'll start to really enjoy it. I've had a lot of students say, "Hey, that test out's great. Can we use that in every semester?" And unfortunately, we can't because they don't have stuff for every single one of my classes. But it is a really good environment. All right. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know, and have a good first week. And as I'm sure you know, and you probably read the syllabus, we're going to kind of cruise through this material really, really fast in 6 weeks. And at the end of this week, we're like 1/6 of the way done. So it goes fast. And the summer term is always really, really quick. So stay on top of things, spend the time. Remember, in the syllabus, I said you should anticipate spending a minimum of 6 hours a week in this material, right? It's a 2-unit class. And there's 54 hours or whatever it is for the whole term. So you want to make sure you're spending the time with it. All right. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.